towards just putting the cherry on top of that. Just saw a quick clip there of Fletcher Smith low. A few of the leading lights from this South African side. It's an exciting side too. Won't necessarily dominate possession, but when they do get the ball, they are capable of some very quick and slick 1- and 2-touch passing combinations. They can slice through defensive lines like a knife through butter, given half a chance. Will they get that chance against this Moroccan side, though? That is an entirely different question. A Moroccan side that's very much used to trying to dominate possession. And as we saw in the semi-final, they completely squeezed hosts Egypt to death in that match. Squeezed the entire game into the Egyptian third of the pitch, really giving them very little chance to play themselves. Kabaka, their main man, seeing most of the ball in and around the edge of his own penalty area. So the scene is set then. Kick-off in around 10 minutes or so. Now Morocco and South Africa, along with Nigeria and Egypt, already qualified for this year's World Cup. But who will be the champions of Africa?
For those who love it, those who support it, and those who play it, Orange is here. Orange, proud sponsor of African football.
Here, we're known for our sense of service. It's all about finding ways to support you. Day after day, doing everything we can to be useful and providing energy in all its forms. Everywhere, every time, all across the continent.
دعونا نرحب بمنتخبي جنوب أفريقيا والمغرب.
Welcome back then to the 30th of June Stadium as the officials and the players and of course the flags prepare to take to the pitch here in downtown Cairo. Less than 10 minutes now before kick-off. And within, hopefully, 2 hours or so, the new champion of Africa will be crowned. That's after Senegal took their first ever title 2 years ago, also here in Egypt. They were, of course, eliminated in the quarter-final stage in a really tight match against Nigeria. That's a game that eventually went to penalties, Nigeria winning that 3-1 to eliminate Senegal, so the defending champions of Africa not even qualifying for the World Cup in Chile later this year.
Ladies and gentlemen,
both of these sides will be there.
Anthem of South Africa.
Now the national anthem starting with Nkosi Sikelel in Africa, Lord bless Africa, the anthem of South Africa. anthem of Morocco,
للنشيد
the
الوطني
Chilean
لمنتخب
anthem.
المغرب.
Well, great to hear both sets of players really getting into their anthems. Let's have a look at the lineups then, starting with Raymond Ndaka's South Africa. 2 changes made from the side that won 1-0 against Nigeria on Thursday, both in the front line as well. Shaquille April was injured in the quarter-final, was only good enough, or only fit enough rather, to play a substitute part in that semi. He comes back in on the right side of the front three for Kuthuano Nethalaku, who drops to the bench. Also a change up top as well. Jody Ashen in for Tabang Malanga, who drops to the bench. Ashen started every game apart from that semi-final. Managed a goal and an assist against Sierra Leone in their 3rd group match. He's now back in the side to lead the line. Both sides pretty settled with their lineups really, especially across the back. As today's Moroccan 11 is getting ready for a, well, both sides in fact just getting ready for a last photo. The tension, of course, palpable in both dugouts. Both Raymond Ndaka and Mohamed Wabi. For Mohamed Wabi, this again 3 years in the making since he took over the running of the under-20 side. And let's have a look at today's match officials then. Abu Nefere from Cameroon in the middle with the whistle. His assistants Karine Fomo from Cameroon and Eba Etienne from Côte d'Ivoire. 4th official Kleso Gnama from Togo. There are our captains for today. Neo Rapu on the left for South Africa, and Moad Dahak on the right for Morocco. So a quick exchange of pleasantries and pennants there. We have a look in the VAR booth then, where Ahmed Abdelaziz from Sudan is in charge, with Salima Mukansanga from Rwanda even, I beg your pardon, his faithful assistant, and of course hoping for not too much controversy involving VAR today in this final. Let's have a look then at the Morocco lineup. 3 changes made from the 1-0 win against Egypt, 2 of those enforced as well. Abdelhamid Boudlal comes into the centre of the defence, having started against Kenya in their opening game and only 1 substitute appearance since, that being in the semi-final against Egypt. Ismail Bakhti injured against Egypt and unable to even make the bench for this game. Also Mahad Dahak, the captain, back in after being a substitute in that semi. Saad El Haddad suspended after picking up yellow cards in both the quarter and semi-finals. And also a change up top there for Morocco. Jones El Abdelawi in for Adim Bouyaya, who drops to the bench. El Abdelawi, his first start of the tournament, having picked up goals as a substitute on their 3rd match in the group phase against Tunisia, and also the only goal and the winner, of course, against Egypt in that semi-final. Oh, we're just moments away then from kick-off, the biggest games of these players' lives, at least to date. They could be bigger to come, you never know, in South America. in the World Cup later this year. Neo Rapu has made the left wing spot very much his own, the captain, after a slow start, missing out completely in the first game. He's come in since then and produced well down that left flank for South Africa. So we're underway. South Africa, the de facto home team in their usual gold and green. Morocco all in white. And attacking immediately down the right-hand side, El Abdellaoui. Running out of pitch there, the ball going out for a goal kick to be taken by Fletcher Smith-Lowe. Be interesting to see how South Africa choose to play these situations. Early on against Nigeria, they were getting squeezed badly at the back, trying to play through the press. Eventually found a way through it with a quick ball out and then a ball over the top, trying to take those pressers out of the game. There's Tylon Smith with the distinctive haircut at the back for South Africa. It was a towering presence against Nigeria and scored the winning goal as well. You could have made an argument man of the match even without the goal. Such was his command of the South African penalty area. Now Kakana with an early touch. Watching South Africa, it's almost like watching someone doing the world, sort of slow, quick, slow. They will make things look quite slow and stodgy, and then they'll suddenly burst into life and cut through you, almost sort of lulling you into a false sense of security. So when it works for South Africa, the slick interpassing is very difficult to stop. Morocco, well, it's a slightly more structured. Under Mohamed Houabi. They will try and squeeze the life out of you. We saw that against Egypt. They were just absolutely hemmed in. They just couldn't play the way out. Every time they hit a long ball, it came straight back at them. And when they tried to play short and through, they were getting picked off. The only thing that was really missing from Morocco against Egypt was a cutting edge in and around the area, just a real fox in the box. Not sure that they've got one out there today either. So El Abdellaoui does have a couple of goals, but he's not really a striker, more of a wide player normally. Would expect both Abdellaoui, Bouma Saudi, who's starting out on the left, and Othman Mamma. Expect those three to be relatively fluid. The ball given away here, an early chance for South Africa. Well, Jody Ashen presented a chance on the plate in just the 3rd minute. Well, that's given the game a shot in the arm, hasn't it? Just, well, sloppy back pass. We'll get a replay in a moment. I've got to say, Ben Chouch was very quickly off his line to close that one down, and it was just as well. Otherwise, South Africa could well have been in an early lead. And a slightly nervy pass there from Smith for Timber over on that right-hand side of the South African defence. Morocco back in possession. Yes, Sadak was superb in that semi-final against Egypt. Sliding through there. I'd expect the Moroccans to have more support in the crowd. Egypt is somewhat closer to Morocco than it is to South Africa, which is the exact opposite end of the continent. We do have, though, and we've seen them as well ahead of the game, some South African fans in the stands. Kazi there, just losing out in the air. Sabia penalised for the challenge on Mamma. He was a really bright spark in the semi-final against Egypt, was Mamma, causing all sorts of chaos down the Moroccan right flank. And understandably, you're seeing a few nervy passes in the early stages here. As I say, biggest game of these players' lives. Good confidence at the back there from South Africa. Now Kekana can turn into space in midfield. Spreads the ball out to the left-hand side. Rapu now. Ball was slightly behind in, momentum lost. And a poor ball in there from Sabia. Not quite reading the run of Vilakazi. Vilakazi might be a little bit undercooked for this one. He's been sat on the bench both the quarter-final and the semi-final. Suddenly drafted in to start in this final. Now Kekana will barge into from behind there by Al Abdelawi. It's one of the easiest calls we'll get all game. Well, this was the poor back pass earlier. I mean, he looked up, saw him there, it appeared. You know, he looks up, sees the man, doesn't anticipate at all. Very lucky to get away with that. Very good goalkeeping as well from Ben Chouch. Now Morocco coming forwards down the left-hand side. Nice build up here, a lovely ball into the area. It was a Howney. He just clipped as he tried to put that ball across. Another look here at the early chance for South Africa. Ashen, as all strikers do, making the run out of hope more than anything else. See the look on the face there of Boudalal just after hitting the moment he hit that pass. You can see the shock and horror on his face. It's a horrible feeling. Slightly wayward ball. Needed to be down the right channel, that one. Nice ball out for Esadak, brings it over halfway from Morocco. Four men in the attacking line here. Mama plays it for Katoon. Mama again tries to go between two defenders. Kekana with the cheeky back heel and then the clearance, but Morocco quickly back in possession again. Mama tries the give and go. Not really the space for that. Talon Smith with the header out. Ball, the loose one picked up by Lalawi. Just trying to curl that one inside Sabia. Shaquille April, good defending on the edge of his own area. Needed to be precise with that challenge. Just wonder if it would pay for South Africa to be a little bit more direct coming forwards at the moment, because they're not really managing to play their way through. To find a way of getting some pressure onto this Moroccan back four. Both teams playing with a double pivot in front of those back fours, just for a bit of extra security. Smith low. Forced into a hurried clearance. Maku spreads the ball out to the right. Timber goes backwards to Smith. Maku back to Smith again. Those are the sorts of balls they need to avoid there. They've played their way bang into trouble. Now Mama picks up the ball with only one man in front of him, just outside the area. Now maybe something can be done on the transition. Raking ball, cross field, nicely taken by April. April Jinks it, his man. Puts the ball in. A little bit too much on it. We picked up though on this near side. Dilakazi. Faced with two defenders, goes to Rapu instead. He changes direction and wins a corner for Amajita. First corner of the game then for South Africa. In fact, the first corner of the game, full stop, in the 11th minute. Only 4 yellow shirts to aim at in there. There's Smith just missing out. I'll be honest, you'd expect a bit more presence in the box from the attacking side there. There were a couple of players just hanging around the D, but just putting 4 men in there seems a little undercooked. You do all the hard work to win a set piece, and you don't really give yourself the chance of winning the ball in there. I'm sure Raymond Ndaka has his reasons for that. Maybe afraid of Morocco on the counter-attack, wanting to leave more men in a little deeper. Goalless so far. South Africa having come closest to scoring. Now a long ball over the top. I don't think Smith really needed to play that. Surely Smith Lowe, the goalkeeper, should have called that one. Maybe he did. Nice play down the right-hand side from Morocco. Now finding space on the opposite flank. The ball coming in, deflecting, turn, shoot. Smith there, though, to deflect that behind for a corner. Good turn from Bouba Saudi, though. Good to see the centre-backs coming up into play, in open play as well for Morocco. Of course, if your opponents are sitting too deep, you can afford to do that. So first corner for Morocco, what they got for us. Outswinger easily headed away at the near post by Timber. Now finding space on the left-hand side again with the pass through. I think Bouba Saudi just checked his run. Sadak not quite reading that. Long ball forward, looking for Shen down the right-hand channel. Ball's not quite finding their mark just as yet for South Africa. When they do get in the final third, they'll be dangerous. Well, Amajita, they got to get there first. Morocco edging possession in the early stages. A long ball down this right-hand side, but way too much on that one. Lovely slick play, eventually intercepted by Sibia. On the attempted clearance blocked from Lekwali. Hurriedly played out. And slightly late there on Vilakazi. Just as he turned the ball away. Catching the foot. There's Boudlao. Studs up as well. Ouch. Ashen chasing that one down. Ashen wins the corner as well. He had support as well with Vilakazi in the centre. Ball wouldn't quite come down for him. Nice through ball from Smith. And again, just 4 players in the box. Surely they need to get more in there, South Africa. Oh, it's a poor delivery into the near post. Flicked on after the initial clearance. Now lobbed back in. A couple of South African players there would have been offside if they challenged for it. Now they can close the ball down. That's cut out by Maku. Gets the ball again in midfield, does Maku. Now Kakana. Space for April over on that far side. Looks up, thinks about the cross. Goes short to Maku instead. Goes for the return pass. Wins another corner. Maybe this time South Africa will actually load some bodies into the box. Shen just getting a friendly arm round the shoulder from Timber. This will be the in-swinger, again just 4 men to aim at, and again, not a very good delivery. South Africa retaining possession. Vilakazi. Oh, nice ball over the top of the fullback. Ashen on the turn, into the area. Low shot, but slightly tame. Straight at the Morocco goalkeeper. Tackled now to Hack, leads the charge down the right-hand side, goes to Mama. His cross intercepted by Nakwali and put out for a corner. Well, that was dangerous for South Africa as Morocco turned defence into attack in the blink of an eye. In fact, not a corner, managed to go just about get it out for a throw. I think either of these teams have a long throw specialist. Katoon goes past one. Katoon gets down to the byline. Good cut back too, but intercepted and kicked long. But there's no one there for South Africa. Being rather conservative with their tactics so far, actually. Amajita. Sadak brings the ball over halfway, plays it inside, continues his run on the slant. Ball goes to Mama instead. Anapu winning the ball, but then a heavy touch puts it out for a Morocco throw. I think Mohamed Wabi. Ball comes in, headed away by Smith. Be pretty happy with the control of his side so far. He likes to control midfield. They appear to be doing exactly that at the moment. Kakana and Maku being slightly overrun there. Nice ball down the left, headed back as well. So it's opening up for Morocco, and the shot straight at Smith Rowe. Offside flag going up. There we go. Clearly off. That's the instructions for lines people these days. And Smith Rowe leaving that one very late before clearing the ball. But now they've managed to play through that press now, South Africa. They need to keep coming forward, so they can't afford to lose attacking momentum and let Morocco get their defensive shape back. And now opening up on the right-hand side, and the shot skied way out to play by Physicality. Sloppy pass in midfield, nowhere near finding Shaquille April. Almost at the midway point of the first half here. Chances have been few and far between, it's fair to say. Dahak with the crossfield ball, and that's finding some space over on that left-hand side. South Africa chasing back. Oh, lovely run inside. Goes for the shot. Parried, cleared it eventually by Sibia. And now maybe South Africa on the counter. Shaquille April sprinting down that right flank. He's got lots of grass in front of him. Two teammates up there as well. Goes for the shot, that's parried as well. And headed away from just outside the 6-yard box. Rapu will get there first. Gets the ball back to Sibia. Sibia has got Rapu outside him. 2-3 players worth aiming at in the centre. Rapu, though, unable to quite link up with Sibia there. And eventually Morocco get the throw. This was the first chance. Boomer Saudi, lovely jinking run inside. Brilliant save from Smith Rowe. And eventually cleared by Sibia. Then down the other end, Shaquille April coming forwards. Well, the options in the middle were well covered by defenders. Instead, stung the palms of Ben Chouch. Smith slips as he plays that ball out to Maku. Now Kakana. Back to Maku again. Now Timber on that right-hand side. Kakana has drifted into space, and now he can turn and run, but that's not a great ball for Ashen. South Africa coming into the game now, aren't they? Umar Saudi. Timber won't want to get turned inside out again by the number 11. Said it's Dahak now, faced with Maku. April picks up the ball on that far side. Eventually hustled out of it, but Kakana picks up the loose ball. Oh, no foul by the referee. The shot comes in, and it's just turned round the post. That was an awkward one from Dahak. Smith Rowe getting down, but that dipped nastily just in front of the South African stopper. Maku going down too easily to Hack. Well, no one really closed him down. There was a deflection as well as I think it was Kakana came in. Just deflected off his shin. Made that very difficult for Smith Rowe. The save even better than it first appeared. Ball whipped into the near post, headed behind by Timber for a reload over by that corner flag. This time the corner taken short. Hack this time goes for the back post. A little bit too much on it though. That goes out for a South African goal kick. 25 minutes in, the game just starting to spark into life now, isn't it? The last 5 minutes or so. After a slightly nervy start from both sides. That was the Hack shot a few minutes ago. And then the run from April. He picked up the ball pretty much outside his own penalty area. No one can actually catch up with him. And got his shot on target as well. Patrice Motsepe, the president of the Confederation of African Football. They're in the VIP area. Well, it's not just the president of African Football, also the owner of the biggest club in South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns. They'll be back in action at the Club World Cup a little bit later this year, in the early summer. The tournament, in fact, getting underway, what, middle of next month, about 4 weeks' time or so. This new expanded format, depending on who you talk to, that's either a brilliant idea or a terrible idea. Not a lot of grey area on that one. It seems to be very black and white, according to the oh dear, ball given away there. Poor touch from Nakwali. Into Hack. His attempted chip into the area, headed away. Morocco butchering a really good opportunity to get the opening goal in the final of this Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Now the crossfield ball looking for Rapu on this near side. Looks like Katoon going to get there first. Managed to force Katoon into playing it in the end. Still under pressure here by their corner flag, Morocco, but then play their way out of it nicely. First really high press we've seen from South Africa. April getting a half intercept, goes out for a Morocco throw. Well, a various assortment of fans there. Obviously still in the country after coming all this way to support their side. While you're here, might as well go to the final, why not? Plenty of tickets available. Long ball. Sabia on his bike to shepherd that one out for a goal kick. Seeing a lot of forward runs from Muad Dahak. Nice play from Timber, going past one. Needs to offload the ball before he's caught up, though. And it wasn't a good ball in the end. And now all of a sudden, Morocco on the attack again. Shot comes in. And deflects. And Abdullawi couldn't resist pulling the trigger there. The defenders retreating in front of him on the half-hour mark. And Morocco now with another corner. goes for the back post. Half-headed away by Rapu. Ashen gets on there. Just one man up. Physicality battling for it. And now an opportunity here for April. Oh, he couldn't quite take it with him. Support arriving now for the number 7. Here's Maku to Kikana. Kikana has a shot, but can't get over the top of it. And that one floats harmlessly high and wide. That was the start of the run for the South African chance earlier. Say level with the edge of his own penalty area was April. No one could catch him up. He's that quick. Good shot too. Now Abdullawi battling with Tylon Smith there. Abdullawi giving a good physical examination of these South African defenders so far. That's what he's there for. Get in the defenders' faces, don't let them settle. Kutoon plays a 1-2 with Mama. Zahak. Now Mama. And Mama takes the ball at pace here, gets down to the byline. And just a loose touch, sees the ball go out. I wonder how fit Mama is actually. He was virtually unplayable for the first hour or so against Cedric, then that seemed to quickly fade and was substituted. So you wonder if he picked up a knock and just how fit he is for this final. I was going to say the same about Shaquille April as well. He was, picked up a knock in the quarter-final, was only fit enough to be a substitute against Nigeria in the semis. I would say, judging from that run a few minutes ago from the edge of his own penalty area, he certainly is fit enough. Physicality has got clipped there, sent rolling. Referee playing advantage. Short advantage there was there for South Africa, to be honest. They've been going backwards with the ball from there. There's April. Nice touch, takes it away from one. Now the pass into Kikana. Now Maku. Physicality. Physicality turns, looks up, just spreads the ball simply out to his left. To Sabia. Slightly loose ball from Maku, but quickly made good by Timber. April. Well, he's been absolutely manhandled there. He's had his shirt grabbed at least a couple of times, still going, then gets hacked down. It's going to be a yellow card surely here for Zahouni. When he had, what, 2 or 3 bites at April. Tug of the shirt, arm round the neck. There's the tug of the shirt, there's the arm round the neck. There's the tug of the shirt. And then bangs him in from behind. He's all over him like a cheap suit. To his credit, April doing his absolute level best to keep going rather than just going down and looking for the foul. And Fawad Zahouni now faced with the quickest man on the South African side, and he's on a yellow card. Absolute nightmare scenario with, what, at least an hour to play. Now then, free kick in a very promising area. Will South Africa commit men into the box for this one? Tylon Smith obviously in there. The tallest man in that South African backline, tallest man in the team, basically. He needs support in there. They got 5 in there this time. April just hanging around by the D as well. Interesting split with Kikana very deep on this near side as well. I like that. It's a good way of spreading the defence a bit. Now the movement, the ball. Oh, that's a poor one. Oh, what a waste from South Africa. Poor delivery from the set piece. Nice header to the side from Kakana for Maku. Now April. This time decides against running against his man, but I've got to say, if I was Shaquille April now, knowing that the man I'm effectively up against is on a yellow card, I'd be running at him as much as I can. Maybe draw another foul. Another couple of fouls, he could draw a red card as well, April. Now Sabir comes inside, now he tries to accelerate. And Sabir picks up a yellow card as well. So both left backs now on yellow. Just a heavy touch there. That's not looking good for Gomalemo Kakana. What's he done here? Was he... Didn't see the contact on Kakana. Definitely something dripping out of his nose. It's a replay of the April shot earlier. So far, South Africa actually marginally edging the possession stats. What's happened to Kakana here, though? Still haven't seen a replay of the incident. Oh, the whistle, that was actually... off the ball there. I just wonder if VAR want to get involved in that one. Raised arm into the face. It was the Boomer Saudi shot that deflected off of, or rather managed to get past Tylon Smith, couldn't get past Smith Lowe. Kana coming back on any moment. There you go, raised arm, the referee with his back to the action. Surely that's a situation where VAR could get involved. The ball comes forward, quickly closed down by the South African defence. Nice ball out as well. And the Kazi wrestled to the ground by Esadak. Kazi doing well to shield the ball. Now back on the ball again, out to Sabia. Flicked on by Rapu. Picks up the pass. He's getting pretty cynical from Morocco the last few minutes. Lawi this time picking up the yellow. The referee, well, he set his standard now. He was nowhere near the ball coming in from behind, so you can't really complain about the yellow card. No effort to play the ball at all from Reda Lalawi. He was fantastic in the quarterfinals against Sierra Leone, really controlling the midfield areas. Kazi, this time bumped from behind. Again, no effort to play the ball this time from Ismail Bauf. And the South Africans getting a bit cross with this. It's a bunch of fouls gone in the last 5 minutes. Frustration, I think, from Morocco. They're used to controlling the midfield area. Not a 5 players, just on the edge of the D there. Need a better delivery from these set pieces. That's been poor from the South Africans so far. It's coming near the end of the first half. That's a better delivery. And the referee seeing a foul. That was nicely teased in between the goalkeeper and the defence. Nasty bouncing ball, that one. Better from South Africa. They've wasted a bunch of set pieces before that. Now Kakana picks up the ball in midfield. Naku forced back to Sabia. Now the ball back with Smith again. Smith goes long with precision as well. Beautiful ball for April over on that far side. Runs at Zahouni. Keeps the ball in play. It'll be picked up by Rapu on the opposite side. Vilakazi now. Oh, that's a poor ball from Vilakazi. And now maybe Morocco on the counter-attack here. Here's Esadat, puts the ball through. Is El Abdelawi forced wide. Patient defending from Smith, and the shot straight at Smith low. It all came from a poor pass up at the other end from Vilakazi. Snuffed out a really promising South African attack. Nice ball forward for Dahak. Dahak given room to turn. Feeds the ball out to that left-hand side. Umar Saudi back into Dahak. More enforcements turning up on the left, but anticipated by April, and he's then tripped by Zahouni, who's got to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. This was El Abdelawi. Smith pedaled to the metal just to try and keep up with the number 17. Now April feeds the ball for Ashen down that right-hand side. Ashen couldn't keep his foot round it. The ball goes harmlessly out of play. Another good attacking position goes begging for South Africa. I say, after a jittery first 10-15 minutes from Amajita, they have been much better since then. Really coming strongly into the game, and certainly the last 20 minutes or so before the half-time break. You have to say South Africa have been the better side. lacked a bit of composure in and around the box at times. That's been the only downfall for them. Ball over the top. I think Timber just got a flick on that. Just as well, otherwise. Saudi, I think it was, would have been away and clear down that left-hand side and in behind the defence. So 2 minutes added on at the end of this first half. Khatoun. Oh, lovely little pass from Esadak into Dahak. Now Zahouni on the left-hand side. Time to put a good ball in. Lots of white shirts to aim at as well. Picks up the clearance. Clips it back to Boudlao. Bath to Khatoun. All the way back to the goalkeeper. All over the top. Smith trying to cover that. That one bounces through to Smith low. Referee. Just giving the drop ball back to Smith low then. Vilakazi picks up the ball and then smashes that one over the bar. Just leaning back on it. So, the referee, Abdou Mifire, brings up an entertaining first half to an end here at the 30th of June Stadium. South Africa 0, Morocco 0 at half-time. Both sides with their chances. Morocco starting off the better. In a slightly nervy start from both sides. South Africa really coming strongly into the game in the last 20-25 minutes or so. Good chances at both ends. Shakil April really impressing for South Africa. Ouad Dahak and Hossam Esadak been silky smooth in midfield for Morocco. Thus far, no one able to quite break the deadlock. Mohamed Wabi there. Some work to do at half-time in the changing rooms, as will Raymond Ndaka, the South African coach. So, 0-0, half-time. Game that has ebbed and flowed so far. Certainly feels like a game that could explode into life at any moment. Both sides just perhaps lacking a little bit of composure in the final third. You say it's a big game for both sides. Young players as well, South Africa, with the majority of possession in that first half. Not much to pick elsewhere in those statistics though. The XG is very similar as well. Passing accuracy also very similar. Both teams getting 3 shots on target. Both goalkeepers forced into some good saves as well in that opening 45 minutes. So 0-0 at half-time in this replay of the 1997 final. That was won 1-0 by Morocco in Morocco. The only previous time that South Africa have in fact made the final. They're very much in this game. South Africa looking for a first ever Africa Cup of Nations title. That's the under-20 stage in only their second ever final. And off the previous final back in 1997, 28 years ago. But Morocco won that final 1-0. That is, to this date, still their only Africa Cup of Nations under-20 title. Who will come out on top this match, balanced on a knife edge, going into the second half. Well, the sides emerged onto the pitch at the 30th of June Stadium in downtown Cairo for the final of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. South Africa and Morocco going head-to-head. And a nervy back pass there, giving Jody Ashen an early chance in just the 3rd minute. Sloppy back pass. Very sharp goalkeeping, though, from Yanis Benchouch. This replay of the 1997 final held in Morocco, which the Moroccans went on to win 1-0 for their only AFCON title at under-20 level. They were the first side, really, to get into their passing in the first half. Deflected cross there. Saudi finding his shot on the turn. Well blocked by Tylon Smith, the man who scored the winner for South Africa against Nigeria in the semi-final. Saudi again, this time jinking between two to make space for the shot. Fine save, though, from Fletcher Smith-Lowe, keeping the goal scores level. And another shot coming in, that one deflecting and well saved low down. Just deflected off Kakana, scrambled behind by Smith-Lowe. And so South Africa also creating some good chances in that first half, not shown there. 0-0 at the break, and all to play for in the second half.
Vivons le jour, vivons la nuit, voyons le monde à l'infini. Rêvons d'avenir, de devenir ce que l'on souhaite, où que l'on souhaite. Partageons nos passions, écrivons nos succès, exprimons tout ce que l'on est. Avançons sans limite puisque le monde est là et qu'il nous ouvre les bras.
Hello and welcome back then to the 30th of June Stadium here in Cairo. It's 0-0 at half-time of the final of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Morocco, the 1997 champions. Apart from one nervy mistake in the third minute, which nearly let South Africa through for the early goal. Other than that, dominated perhaps the early stages of the game, but South Africa came back strong in the latter part of the second half. Made some good chances of their own and really an entertaining opening 45. We'll be hoping it opens up a little in the second half. Now we do have a change at half-time here.
And player number 14
is perhaps surprisingly being taken off here. Ismail Awad coming on in his place, so like for like substitution. But taking a captain off at half-time, I can only think he picked up a knock. He was certainly playing well, Dahak. So we're about ready to get underway here then. I wonder who's going to pick up the armband, actually. Could well be Yesadak, who was the captain in Dahak's absence against Tunisia in their third group game. So I'm assuming it's going to be passed to the Moroccan number 8. Morocco get us underway then for the second half. 0-0 at the break. South Africa attacking the goal on our right in this second period. Shen with an early touch, bustled off the ball by Bauf. Ball all the way back to the goalkeeper. And indeed the captain's armband has been picked up by Hossam Yesadak. Number 8 from Morocco for this second half. Now, unlike the third, fourth place playoff match, which you may or may not have been watching earlier, in which Nigeria absolutely battered Egypt, but in some ways were lucky to even get to a penalty shootout, which they eventually did win to take third place. No extra time in that game, but in the final, as it was in the quarterfinals and semi-finals, there will be extra time if the scores are level at the end of the full 90. And before the dreaded spectre of a penalty shootout looms large. Morocco happy just to keep the ball for the moment. Now a lovely crossfield ball. Mamma has been kept pretty quiet over on that far side, actually, in the first half. It was a real will-o'-the-wisp in their semi-final. Morocco against the Egyptians. As the young Pharaohs, all sorts of trouble and strife down that Moroccan right flank. Been well marshalled mostly, though, in the first half here by Tato Sabia. Here, Rapu as well, dropping deep on occasion to help out. Masoudi slips as he tries to play a crossfield ball. Now Kakana, a little bit slow, took too few many touches there. Any chance of a counter-attack from the Amajita rather disappeared. Trip over the ball there. Now Kakana, crossfield ball looking for April. He's got plenty of pace, the number 7. A little tug back though on it. Fuad Zahouni. Tried to just get in behind. Zahouni using his body to shield the ball. Ball over the top. A little surprised Smith Lowe didn't come to deal with that one. A little bit of an apology, I think, for Sifiso Timber, who had to smash that one over his shoulder. April taking a fair old whack to the lower back here. Well, actually, that's a bit of a pressure point. And it's Fuad Zahouni as well. He's going to get a talking to from the referee here. I think this is going to be the last chance saloon for the number 15. He's already on a yellow card from the first half for an incident where he had 3 bites at Shaquille April. To see the ball hit the cameraman in the face there. Completely didn't see that one coming, did he? Too busy looking through his camera, not blindsided. I'm sure he's okay, so I'm going to have a little giggle about that one to myself. Well, I hope he's okay. Now then, Morocco with the ball coming down the right-hand side. Little flick back in, but well intercepted by Nkwali. Rapu dropping deep. Kekana puts it back out to Nkwali on that left-hand side. Oh, poor ball out from Sabia. Smith lets that one go over his head through to Smith Lowe. Ball chip forward for Kekana. Maku under pressure from his opposite number, Lalawi. April looks mobile again, the number 7. Smith couldn't quite get the ball off El Abdelawi. Number 17 still on the ball, but putting that the wrong side of the run of Mama. Picking up the loose ball in midfield. South Africa being pressed back here. Zahouni trying to get past April. He's done so. Too much on the cross though. Will get picked up by Couture on that far side. The attack still underway here. Ball into the near post. Opportunity knocks. And the shot straight at the keeper and then blocked by Nkwali on the far side. El Abdelawi, I think it was, with the stab at goal. Saudi was in there as well. Good play down that side from Couture. Missed at the near post. A little stab. The ball just getting under his feet a bit for El Abdelawi. Yeah, he just got under his feet a bit. Couldn't get real power. And Nkwali then getting in the way of the follow-up shot. Good start of the second half from Morocco. The ball comes in. Headed away by Rapu this time. The clearance, though, straight up in the air. Rapu beaten to it by Mama. Lovely play from the number 7. First time we've seen that in this game from him. The Montpellier-based midfielder. Wide attacker, rather. Just 6 men in the group of 26 of the Moroccan side actually based in Morocco. Compare that to South Africa, where the entire squad are based in South Africa, apart from Fletcher Smith-Lowe, who's in Portugal with Estoril Praia. Well, Shane was expecting that ball over the top, but not expecting one in behind him. Goes long. Smith with the pass out of defence for April. Goes down. As well to keep the ball, April. How on earth has he done that? Surrounded by 3 players, somehow emerged with the ball. Pass out from Smith, this time intercepted. But now South Africa can come forward, and at pace as well comes Sabia. Sabia down the left, cuts the ball back. That's not the best of passes, though. And then all of a sudden, Sabia out of position. Rapu busting a gut to get back. Moroccan player told to get up by the referee. Now Maku clips one over the top, looking for April. Zahouni as well, eventually at full stretch. Gets the ball out of play. Oh, a bit of to me to you there between the keeper and the left back. Just a check on the ball. Zahouni eventually getting there. April's pace a real menace down that right-hand side. Zahouni's actually played well to keep him as quiet as he has. And he's still been arguably the best player on the pitch. As April, ball comes in, flicked on at the near post, headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box. And well, I'm not sure why the whistle's gone there. Didn't see anything obvious. Also, not quite as close to the action as the referee. Ball down the right-hand side. Nice bit of check spin there for Mama. He's got Sabia on his case. Waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Again, a few slack passes here early in the second half from South Africa. A bit like the start of the first half. They look a little bit nervy at times here. Morocco starting the better. That was the knee into the back of April, to be fair. Well, there's the cameraman. So I hope he's okay. He might have just got a little bop on the schnoz there. Oh, an interesting move here. So Jody Ashen, who's been pretty quiet, comes off to be replaced by Thabang Malangu, who has scored 3 goals in this tournament, but all from the bench. Patrick Altata as well, coming on in midfield. Didn't see who he's coming on for. We'll figure that out, there we go. So Mafundo Physicality. Patrick Altata, 4 substitute appearances, got an assist against Sierra Leone, but other than that, hasn't done much, was left on the bench against Nigeria. Now he's on the pitch for the final. May not be quite as naturally attacking as Physicality. There's a bit of extra solidity in the middle. At least that's what the coach will be hoping as Mama sweeps the ball in, but just a little bit too much on that one. Thabang Malangu scored a brace against Sierra Leone off the bench, and also got the only goal of the game in their quarter-final against Democratic Republic of Congo in the quarter-finals, also off the bench. Started against Nigeria, did very little actually, to be fair. Then replaced by Shen. Now a chance for him to do his super sub thing again. Ball spread to Zahouni on this near side. The battle between him and Shaquille April has been fascinating throughout, hasn't it? This time it's Rapu on the left-hand side. First touch for Malangu. Now Timber on this near side. The ball spooned up into the air. The loose ball now picked up by South Africa. Here is April. Zahouni gets a foot in. Chip ball again. Concentrating on that right-hand side. Zahouni had that one covered. A little bit too much on it. Couldn't quite get the check spin on there this time. Coordinated movements on the bench. Well, let's see how the changes for South Africa shake out. So they've got some extra in the way of legs now in midfield. It looks like, actually, that Tata has taken the captain's armband off of Neo Rapu. Very interesting. Sabia with the intercept. Malangu couldn't quite find room to turn with the ball. Sabia puts that out for a Morocco throw. Trying to play that one into the channel in behind Timber. Well defended, though, from the South African right back. We hit the hour mark, still goalless in this final of the Under-20s Africa Cup of Nations. Oh, Sehouni getting a little kick in there on April again. April gets a yellow card for his reaction. I think South Africa wants a yellow card for Sehouni. He was booked in the first half. He's put the knee through his back earlier in the second half, and he's taken him from behind there with a challenge which would have been a yellow card you'd expect otherwise. Yeah, kicked on the knee from behind. 19-year-old losing his cool there. Unfortunate for the South African. Sehouni getting to the point where you're thinking he's possibly lucky to still be on the pitch. Rapu spreads the ball out to Sabia, gets the ball back on this left-hand side. Now Maku. Kakana in front of him, a little bit too close nearby. Possession edged by South Africa in the first half, back to 50-50 now overall. Rapu not given space to turn. Now Timber. Well, Tata wanted the throw, but going Morocco's way instead. Rather goal kick, I beg your pardon. Changes the foot then. Issa Habri. And perhaps unsurprisingly, a left back about to come on, and sorry, Fouad Zouhani, the man to be replaced here. Like, lucky to still be on the pitch, quite frankly. Tied it up in midfield by Maku. Rapu cuts back inside. Now he can turn. Mama covering back. Now Maku. Smith. Poor pass from Smith. Putting South Africa on the back foot. Crossfield ball goes straight out of play. Well, Adnan Karalbi as well, about to come on for his first substitute appearance since the second group game against Nigeria. That was his only appearance so far, the number 22, for all of 2 minutes. He's going to get more than 2 minutes here. Well, the right winger, I think he's coming on for Mamma, who's been pretty much anonymous over on that right-hand side. Through ball, takes a deflection. Timber does well to anticipate.
خروج اللاعب رقم 15 فؤاد زهواني. البلاير نمبر 25 ودخول اللاعب رقم 25 عيسى حبري.
So Issa Habri, substitute against Tunisia in the last group game.
إلياس بومسعودي. And player number 22 in.
Also came on as a substitute against
رقم 22 عدنان خروبي.
A little bit surprised, but I was going to say Issa Habri, 2 games so far played in the last group game as a substitute, also came on as a substitute and actually set up the winner against Sierra Leone in extra time in their quarter-final. Yeah, the man that came on, Adnan Karalbi, yeah, came on for the last 2 minutes of their 0-0 against Nigeria in their second group game. Hasn't played since. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Absolutely no idea that was going to hit his arm. Hey-ho. So, the substitutes just needing to settle in here. Malangu hasn't had much service since coming on. Mind you, Ashen ahead of him didn't have much service either. A little bit surprised, actually, that it was Bin Masoudi who was withdrawn and not Mamma over on that right-hand side. So he's been kept very quiet as the number 7. Bin Masoudi, meanwhile, has stung the palms of the keeper a couple of times. Didn't produce much in this second half, though, so maybe just running out of gas a little bit. The number 11, which is why he's been withdrawn as the header comes in from El Abdelawi. Puts that one well wide. Poor ball out from the back from Timber. April doing well to win it back. April again surrounded by 2-3 Moroccan players. The ball sprayed out, but it's a rather lackadaisical one straight to the feet of Bauf. Now then, Mamma trying to trick his way inside. Just caught there. Hodgepodge of various fans in that section. Just over 20 minutes to go. We're still 0-0 here in Cairo in the final of this Under-20 African Cup of Nations. I'd expect the game to stretch a little bit as the players tire now down the stretch. Certainly as a neutral, that's what you'd be hoping for. Slightly more open game. The ball is whipped into the back post with a header. Slightly weak one straight at Smith Lowe. Quickly gets back to his feet again to get the ball back in play. Sabir under pressure. Nice play, and suddenly Bauf Rampaging forward, the Moroccan centre-back. El Abdellaoui as well to battle for the ball there, and Mama pulls the trigger from the left-hand side rather. Just rather scuffs it a little bit. Karalbi, and now an opportunity here for South Africa. The flag stays down, the shot goes in, and that's 1-0. No, it isn't. Well, it seemed like the players stopped. Kikana finding the back of the net, only for the flag to go up. I think he knew he was offside anyway. We wait to see the replay. I'm not so sure, you know. Clearance missed by the defender, but there was a man on the near side. The new defender, Habri, who may well have been playing him on. I'd like to see that again. Certainly was past the defender on his side of the pitch. I'm not sure that this is so clear-cut, you know. We're waiting for the VAR check. Hopefully very soon, rather than later, we'll get a picture with some lines across it. So when the... So with offsides now, the lines people encouraged to keep their flags down until the play is over, and then raise the flag if they think it's over. Now look, now on the near side here, I think he's onside. I'm pretty certain he's onside there. I think this is 1-0 South Africa. We wait for the confirmation. I think South Africa might have found themselves in the lead here due to a defensive error at the back. So Issa Habri only just come on, maybe not up to the pace of the game. I wonder what she's hearing in her headset. And there's the goal, it's been given. Habri did indeed play Kikana onside, and South Africa dramatically take the lead. And I think the little wry smile from Karina Fomo, the Cameroonian lines lady. I think she heard, I think, over her headset.
For South Africa.
It's so difficult to judge these things in real time. It's a horrible job, you know, running the line. Anyone who's run the line for their children or what have you. I mean, it's a horrible job to do. Thought Kikana had thrown the chance away when he half stopped, but he just settled himself perfectly. He was in behind, then he stopped, let the defenders get beyond him, almost like a tease, and then smashed it in the top corner. Brilliant finish for Jomalema Kikana, his first goal of the competition. And South Africa have broken the deadlock with just under 20 minutes to play here in the final of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. The mistake from Reda Lalawi. Celebrations for Smith Lowe. Celebrations for the travelling fans in the stands as well. That's one way to empty the bench. So then, well, whatever next. The goal, opening goal of the game, finally goes in with 20 minutes to go. We'll have at least, 2.5 minutes added for the VAR check and whatever else. Now Mama trying to get inside Timber. Cuts the ball back across the edge of the 6-yard box, put out by South Africa for a corner. Mama tries to G up the Moroccan fans in the crowd. South Africa will be under pressure now. They have to be careful not to drop too deep defending this lead. And remember what got them here in the first place. Corner comes into the back post near the penalty spot, and then Bit of a tame header, really, from Boudlal. And the assist going to the goalkeeper, by the way, Fletcher Smith-Lowe. Another ball forwards, flicked on this time, no one making the run in behind. Well, good old-fashioned route one then. Now the ball over the top. Smith back to cover. Hooks it out of play. Mama wastes no time. Getting the ball back in the game again. And now he's got plenty of space back there. A little lackadaisical at the back from April. Mama chips the ball in. Smith-Lowe takes that one cleanly. That was a little warning there on this near side for South Africa. Shaquille April and Sifiso Timber caught a little bit flat-footed there by the second throw-in, leaving Mama in loads of space by the byline. Oh, Timber going to unleash the long throw here. Flicked on by towards Malangu. Let's say Otata has been playing quite an advanced role since coming on. More advanced than we might have expected. Well, there's a clear yellow card, if ever there was one, for Lazola Maku. She did pick up a yellow card in the previous game against Nigeria. There's not a next game for him to be suspended for now. This is it. And Adam Bouaya, who started up top in the semi-final for Morocco, looks like he's being prepared to be unleashed into the last, 13 or so minutes of this one. Be interesting to see who he comes on for. As Keralbi tries to make headway down that right-hand side, was double banked, eventually has the ball taken off his toes. Malangu battling away. And we've got Tata Sabia down. He took a whack to his left shin there. As he clears the ball here. Yes. Ouch. Sabia. And his leg hooked out from underneath him. Keralbi looking as innocent as possible. One of those where if you got a yellow card for it, you couldn't really complain. But it wasn't not necessarily a cast iron one. So Lalawi coming off, so they're sacrificing some of their cover in front of the back four now, Morocco. And Bouaya actually plays in behind the front man. Another look here at the goal from Kakana. What a strike. Actually a bit of a miscontrol just before that as well. Just lulled the defenders maybe into a false sense of security just there. Then the second touch, steadied himself. Even the medical staff like that one. Adam Boya has just come on. He started the semi-final, had 3 sub appearances before that in the tournament. Not yet really managed to make his mark. Ball in from Mama. Again, the midfield just starting to drop a little bit deep here for South Africa. They need to push out and prevent Morocco from suffocating them. Otherwise, they just won't get out of their own area. You don't want to be just defending the whole time. Mamma goes for the spectacular overhead. No idea what he was claiming for down there. Well, Tata plays the ball back to Sabir, who's back on his feet now. Hold up play from Malangu. Gets it back again, the number 18. 3-4 white shirts converge on him. And now April has space on this near side to run at his man. April cuts inside. Gets the ball back again. Had to neatly dodge the challenge coming in from Habri. Well, for Morocco, this has been a title charge. It's been 3 years in the making for Mohamed Ahabi. That was the miss. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks, you know, an overhead kick. These are some of the best in the world for this age group, and he managed a complete air shot on that one. It looked good, though. Timber prepares to try the long throw here. Doesn't quite have the range that he would like, perhaps. That's a better one. Headed away from the near post, picked up by... Whoa. Well, first say picked up by Malangu. The shot came in. The defender actually getting the deflection. It was going into the near post. The deflection could have taken it anywhere. Again, just 5 men in the area for this one. For South Africa, headed away at the near post, not quite cleared yet. Tata went down, he's scraping himself up off the floor. Ball comes back in. And now Morocco can maybe attack on this left-hand side. Can Mama keep that in play? No, he can't. Throwing over the head of Tata. Boya dropping deep to get involved. It's all hustle now from Morocco. Ball goes into the area. Smashed clear by Nakwali. Nice back heel, back across the edge of the box. Well, Tata going down, nothing given by the referee. The ball put across, goal, and it's been headed wide by Mama. He slumps to the ground. Was that the chance for Morocco? He had to put that one in, Mama. Now Tata perhaps going down too easily there. Lovely move, great cross. Brilliant play from Katoon. And Mama cannot believe he's missed it. And neither can they. Which one's his Mama? Well, he'll be desperate to make amends now, the number 7. Slips over as he tries to cut inside. Maybe a chance on the counter-attack here for South Africa. Tata turns the ball inside, intercepted. Now Estadak. And the ball just a little bit outside the sphere of influence of El Abdelawi. 6 minutes to go now. South Africa will be slowing the game down wherever they can. I would humbly suggest that they need to try and keep an attacking presence out there as well. They can't let Morocco push them into their own half. That was flicked back by a Moroccan head. Cleared by the keeper, the longest of clearances. Whistle going against Kakana. Another substitution coming on, and well, Othman Mama isn't going to have a chance to make amends. His head bowed as he comes off the pitch. Ayman Agui coming on in his place, the Spanish-based forward. Started the last two group games and the quarter-final. Scored one of their 3 goals against Tunisia. I need another one from him now. Clipped in towards the area, headed away by Smith. Langu chasing lost causes out there. Ball swung into the area again. Abdellaoui allowed to pick that ball up on the floor as well. And then cleared long. This is why they can't afford to sit too deep here, South Africa. They need to keep the presence up the pitch so that when the ball goes out, it doesn't just come straight back at them like that. It's going to be a long last 4 minutes, and there's going to be, what, at least 5-6 added on as well. So count on at least 10 minutes to play here. It's a long 10 minutes. Sat outside, just outside your own area. Defending balls into the box. Oh, lovely play here from Morocco. Can't keep the ball in play, though. Trying to play their way through. Karabi, I think now has moved over to the left-hand side. It's a fluid situation now for the Atlas Cubs. Namajita minutes away from a first ever continental title at the under-20 age group. Well, the flick on from Langu. No one willing to make the run in behind. Still only 2 substitutes used, by the way, by Raymond Ndaka. Again, they're just sitting deep now. Sitting back there with what looks like a back 5 now, South Africa. No midfield, really, to speak of. 2 sweepers in front. And now the ball is getting pumped into the area. Now Abdellaoui causing all sorts of chaos there. Toe in from Smith. And now April. Can April get the first touch? And April is in behind here. April bearing down on goal. Great save by Ben Chouch. Well, that was going in the top corner. Great goalkeeping. Got his angles right. As soon as that ball bounced through there, you knew that Boudlal was in trouble. And impressive, in fact, at the end of the game. April still has the presence of mind, the pace there, and also the control. Often when you get a bit leggy at the end of the game, you sort of just lose it a bit at the end of those runs. Now the ball swept in, punched away by the goalkeeper. There's no one really on the edge of the area to pick that one up. Now Morocco can play on the counter-attack. The defenders were too deep. Sabia rather, clipped from behind by Abdellaoui. And another few precious seconds come off the clock. This was the chance a few moments earlier. Some pretty stern-looking fans there in the Moroccan section of the stands. See again, they've definitely changed into a back 5 here. I just wonder if they might be better off having more presence in midfield, stopping the ball coming into the area. think it's Zola Maku. He's now dropped a little bit deeper. Defensive organisation going on as they go into the 90th minute. Malangu tries to get in behind, and he's going to win a throw for South Africa. Pleasingly for Amashita, right down at the other end of the pitch. Well, there are the South African fans. They're having a whale of a time in there, mostly. Sibia trots forward. We're going to have another throw. Another throw comes in, taken off the toes of Altata. Just 4 minutes added on here for Morocco. So they've got 4 minutes to try and save their bid for the title here in Cairo. Over 28 years ago, these two teams met in their only previous finals. That was in Morocco. Morocco winning by 1-0. This will be sweet revenge. When you call it sweet, you'd call it sweet revenge, except that none of these players were alive when that game was played 28 years ago, of course. South Africa trying to make this as bitty as possible now. Now, is this in range? It's what? Just it's tempting, isn't it? It's about 30 metres out. Now, the question is, do you put a wall in place for a free kick from this far out? You might be better off not putting a wall in there so the keeper gets a full view of the shot coming in. Well, Karalbi thought about taking it. It's chipped into that far side, headed back across goal, but out of play. The delivery came in from Esadak. The header from Boudlal, but he couldn't quite steer it back across. All chipped in. Smith doing just enough to put Boudlal off. Every time the whistle goes now, there's at least a small section of people out there who think it's the final whistle. Not honestly sure what the whistle went for. It went for that, I think. A challenge from Argui. Nice bit of keepy up from April as well. Chip forward by Smith. Nice cheeky flick there. Boudlal hits it forward, headed away by Smith. Ball comes back, smashed away by Smith. Right down into that far corner as well. Goes out for the goal kick. Minute and a half to go. Guaya spreads the ball out to that right-hand side. Space for Katoon as Rapu comes over, gets a vital touch on that. Balf plays the ball in. Intercepted on the edge of the area by Sibia. And now Sibia goes off on a run. Sibia, well, pulled back. He was in behind there, and what a run from Sibia. Balf goes in the book. No one really cares about that now. This is all about trying to change where the game was being played. Balf with no real option. Heroic stuff there from Sibia. Don't know where that energy suddenly came from. Ball flicked in towards April, so never particularly likely to win that one in the air. About a 1 foot difference between him and the defender. Abri comes deep to pick up the ball. The whistle surely going to go any moment now. 4 minutes have been added on by the fourth official. We've had the 4 minutes. Essadak turns, gets the ball to Habry on this near side. Habry feeds the ball in. Well, kicked away by Smith, and there is the final whistle. Exhilaration for South Africa, despair for Morocco. The Amajita have won the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations for the very first time against the team that beat them in their only previous final 28 years ago, Morocco. The game was nip and tuck, and in the end a defensive error created the opportunity for South Africa, taken wonderfully by Jamalemo Kakana. A simple long ball forward, the kick missed. But Reda Lalawi, who's been so good throughout the tournament, unfortunate for him. Delight for the fans there in the stand. For the very first time for South Africa to go to the World Cup in Chile as the champions of Africa. For Morocco, well, they will also have their chances in Chile. They're a strong side. They won't be a pushover for anyone, but neither will South Africa. Nigeria too look very strong as well. Unfortunate to lose out to South Africa, frankly, in the semi-final. They had the better of that game, didn't take their chances. But they've got, what, about 6 months or so now in order to try and find a striker to put those chances away, Nigeria, ahead of the World Cup finals in Chile. South Africa, well, they will be soaring with confidence after that. Really unfortunate for Morocco, and especially unfortunate for Reda Lalawi. They're a back-based player. We'll have to live with that mistake. Unfortunate too as well for Othman Mamma, who had a, free header, 1-2 meters out that he missed very late in the game. The best chance surely that Morocco had to get back on level terms. Couldn't believe, there he is, couldn't believe that he missed it. The look of shock on his face. It's South Africa who can celebrate now. We'll have to wait a little while before the medal and trophy ceremony. Chance for some of the South African players to regain their composure. Some of the Moroccans as well. Always a heartbreaker to lose a final.
السيدات والسادة، نأمل أن تكونوا قد استمتعتم بنهائي بطولة كأس الأمم الأفريقية تحت 20 سنة. Total Energies.
You can see all those hard workers behind the scenes hurriedly putting the podium together here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the final of the Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2025 between South Africa and Morocco. Award ceremony to begin soon.
So, nice words from the PA there in the stadium. I say the award ceremony will hopefully start soon. Well, there'll be tears of joy, tears of sorrow. I say Shaquille April may not have scored the goal, but he provided some of the best moments of this final, the South African number 7. But the man of the match, Fletcher Smith-Lowe. Not for the first time in this tournament. I suspect he'll be in the team of the tournament as well. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot to not only me, but for the team. This award is for the team. I mean, with only me and without them, we would be nowhere. Together, we're stronger.
You had a great performance throughout the competition itself. You helped your team to win the trophy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to do my part, but the real plaudits go out to everyone who does the work. Not even the people behind the scenes, physios, doctors, fitness coaches, and the players as well. I mean, it's amazing what we've been able to do. Thank you so much.
So the chance for the South African fans in the stands to dance and celebrate. They've been biting their nails for the last, 25 minutes of the game there. Since the 70th minute when Kickoff found the back of the net, there was about a good 2 minutes worth of a VAR check as well to check the offside. The offside originally given, by the way, on the pitch. And a wry smile from the lineswoman as the decision was overturned by VAR. The player on the exact opposite end side of the pitch, playing Kickoff onside. So difficult to judge those things. And that's what VAR is there for. Well, Smith, Tylon Smith, towering presence at the back for this South African side. He'll have an extra little award to pick up as well during the awards ceremony, which we hope will get underway soon. There's Master Motsepe. He will, of course, be involved in the awards ceremony. There's the Golden Glove for the best goalkeeper of the tournament. We've got a best player of the tournament as well, and the top scorer. Throwing some shapes on the dance floor, the South African side. Look more like a New Zealand haka that the All Blacks pull out before a game of rugby. Of course, rugby also a big sport down in South Africa as well. Looks like the award ceremony nearly ready to get underway here. Horrible place to be for the Moroccan players, but they can be proud of what they've achieved here. So champions back in 1997. Only 3 Moroccan teams have even qualified for the tournament since then. Going out without winning a game in the group stage in 2003, 4th place in the 2005 tournament, quarterfinals in 2021. That's it in the last 28 years. And this side have at least made it to the final. Good to see there's no hard feelings between the players as well. Well, that's a dance you can do all night, isn't it? And they probably will be. Smith lower Perhaps struggling a little bit to keep up with the beat there. Well, everyone wanting to take their selfies now. Coming to a social media platform near you very soon, I suspect. A lot of those. That's a very happy looking South African part of the stands there. They've gone through all the highs and lows of this tournament, and remember, South Africa lost their opening game against Egypt back on the opening day. A 1-0 game which they lost 1-0, having hit the woodwork 3 times. Despite that, Egypt only just qualifying by the skin of their teeth, by the way, from Group A. Somehow getting through to the semi-finals as well. There's the Nigerian side, led by Daniel Bemeye, their captain, already a full international for the Super Eagles. Beat Egypt on penalties in the third, fourth place playoff earlier in the day. Here come what look like airline hostesses there bringing out the medals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin the Total Energies Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2025 medals and trophies ceremony.
So the ceremony officially about to get underway, and there's the trophy they've all been playing for. I hope those gloves have got grips on them. You don't want anyone to drop the trophy now. So there'll be medals, of course, for the officials as well. The third place team, Nigeria. And then also, of course, for our runners-up and winners in tonight's final.
Guys, it's okay. Hey, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Oh, just waiting now for tea and medals to be presented, and then the celebrations can really get underway. I wonder if any of these teams can go all the way in Chile. Ghana remain the only African team to win the Under-20s World Cup. That was back in 2009, actually here in Egypt. One of 3 finals that the Black Satellites, not the Black Stars, the Black Satellites have made. Also a finalist in 1993 in Australia and 2001 in Argentina. So they picked up a bronze medal 2013 in Turkey. So African success in the Under-20 World Cup, not unheard of. And with the African game getting stronger and stronger year on year, who knows? Perhaps this year is a time for one of these teams to go all the way and win it, the World Cup, once again for the African continent.
منكم الترحيب بالدكتور
Patrice
باتريس
Motsepe
موتسيبي رئيس الاتحاد الأفريقي لكرة القدم. يرافقه كبار الشخصيات.
moving up to the pitch
Please
now.
welcome on stage Dr. Patrice Motsepe, CAF President, accompanied by the dignitaries.
Well, this will be an especially happy day for Patrice Motsepe. Invests so much of his own time and money into the game in South Africa. And after, let's face it, a real dip in fortunes for the Bafana over, what, the last couple of decades, maybe? Certainly since they hosted the World Cup in 2010, there's not been a lot to write home about for South African football. But a good run by the Bafana at the last Africa Cup of Nations. Success here for the under-20s and also a relative success for the club sides as well in CAF competitions in the last couple of years, as it really seems South African football has turned the corner. When you consider the population and the popularity of football in South Africa, perhaps getting back to something like where they should be in the African game. So Dr. Motsepe and the other dignitaries just sorting themselves out up there on the podium. I wonder if one of the third place or runners-up players be cheeky enough to try and pick up and run away with the trophy. Probably not.
Morocco, منتخب المغرب.
First up to greet the doctor, the Moroccan captain Mouad Dahak. Picking up the Fair Play Award for the Moroccan side, picking up the fewest bookings throughout the tournament.
جائزة أفضل حارس مرمى. The best goalkeeper trophy is awarded to player number 1 from South Africa. اللاعب رقم 1 من جنوب أفريقيا فليتشر لو.
Fletcher Smith Lowe then, after a series of outstanding displays, 4 clean sheets in the tournament, picks up the best goalkeeper as well. I wonder if that's his father celebrating over there. Fletcher Smith Lowe, say the only non-South African based player in this squad, currently plying his trade in Portugal. In Estoril.
The Total Energies Man of the Competition trophy is awarded to player number 14 from South Africa. اللاعب رقم 14 من جنوب أفريقيا Tylon Smith.
And Tylon Smith, a series of man of the match performances, especially in the semi-final where he scored the winning goal, and he'd have been the man of the match anyway. He was absolutely towering in defence. He picks up the player of the tournament. I must say, refreshing that the player of the tournament isn't merely given to the best attacking player for a change. Richly deserved for the Stellenbosch man.
فلنرحب بحكام مباراة المركز الثالث والرابع وحكام المباراة النهائية للبطولة. Let's welcome to the podium the match officials of the third place game and the match officials of the final game.
Particularly happy looking Tylon Smith there. So the match officials picking up their medals as well. Golden Glove, the Fair Play Award, and the Man of the Tournament trophies as well, also getting their group photo. I say, perhaps unsurprisingly, Moad Dahak not looking particularly happy to be picking up that Fair Play Award. He wanted something else, I'm sure. Here are the match officials from tonight's final coming up to pick up their trophy as well. Rather pick up their medals, I beg your pardon. I must say, one of the images of the tournament for me was the wry smile on the face of Karine Fomo, the female lineswoman from Cameroon in the final. Flagged the winning goal offside, but when she realised that the mistake had been made and was going to be corrected by VAR, there was no tantrum, there was not at all upset, because of course we all know it's so difficult making those calls in real time. She took that decision with real humility. So Nigeria beat Egypt on penalties earlier this afternoon to pick up third place and the bronze medal then in this under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. A richly talented side who I'm sure will be a real handful down in Chile in the World Cup later this year. Of course, they wanted more. The 7-time record under-20s champions, but this wasn't to be. They came up against South Africa in stubborn mode in the semi-finals. And they were the better team marginally in that semi. And they couldn't put their chances away. A real problem that dogged them throughout the tournament, really. Just weren't able to score enough goals, Nigeria. They do have a good few months now to try and sort that out ahead of the World Cup.
السيدات والسادة تمنح الآن الميداليات الفضية للفريق صاحب المركز الثاني.
Of course wanted more.
Silver medals for the runners-up of the competition, Team Morocco.
Sporting of the South Africans to at least try and give them a bit of guard. Not getting much drift, are they, from some of the Moroccan players? Seems a bit mean. Perhaps not surprising, Gomalemo Kakana, one of the most keen to put out his hand. Of course, it's never easy. So, silver medal for Morocco. Not what they wanted by any stretch of the imagination, but they've got a lot to be proud of in this tournament. Starting the tournament with a really entertaining 3-2 victory over a very open and perhaps naive Kenyan side who will certainly improve in the future. Ground out a 0-0 against Nigeria in the group, then beat Tunisia to make sure they finished top of that group. Struggled against Sierra Leone, as so many other teams had, except really at South Africa, the only team that really put Sierra Leone to bed. Remember, that's the Sierra Leone side that thrashed Egypt 4-1 in the group stage. And then, of course, went on to beat Egypt. They were very much the better side in their semi-final against the young Pharaohs. And they eventually got through that one 1-0. But just came up against an inspired South Africa here in Cairo in the final. Well, there'll be more chances in the future, I'm sure, for most of these Moroccan players in the future. Oh, where she's digging all those medals out from. Those are the gold ones for the winners.
للفائزين ببطولة كأس الأمم الأفريقية تحت 20 سنة. Total Energies مصر 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the gold medals for the champions of the Total Energies Under 20 Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2025. Team South Africa. منتخب جنوب
South Africa finally get the chance to get their hands on gold for the first time in their history. This is their 9th appearance at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in this, the 18th edition of the event.
Mommy, Daddy, I love you guys.
And I'm sure they love you too. And, well, they reached the final in their first ever appearance in the tournament in 1997 in Morocco, against Morocco, lost 1-0. And in this, their 9th appearance, they've finally made it back to the final, facing the same opposition, this time 1-0 for the Amajita instead. And you can hear the celebrations already starting. Of course, Patrice Motsepe is a proud South African. Will be so pleased for the players and the coach, of course, as well. Raymond Ndaka. He's the man who's put this team together. We'll hope they can go from strength to strength in Chile later in the year. They have been to the World Cup on 4 previous occasions. On 3 of those occasions, they've gone out in the group stage without winning a game. In 2009, though, in the tournament held in Egypt, of course, won by Ghana. They went out in the round of 16, 2-1 after extra time, actually against Ghana, who went on to win the tournament. What can they do this time? What a smile and a hug for the coach there. Well, the dancing and singing has already started. That's going to keep going right through the night, isn't it? The back to front shirts would appear to be very much the thing these days.
بقائد فريق منتخب جنوب أفريقيا الذي سيتسلم كأس البطولة من رئيس الاتحاد الأفريقي لكرة القدم الدكتور باتريس موتسيبي. Please welcome the captain of Team South Africa, who will receive the trophy of the competition from the CAF president, Dr. Patrice Motsepe.
Now, who is going to collect the trophy? Aseka Tawani was the captain. He got injured in the first half of their first game. Now, who's going to be pushed forward for this? It's going to be Patrick Otata. Gives the trophy a kiss. He won't raise it yet. They're going to do this with a team effort. And there they go. The 2025 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations champions are South Africa. And now the celebrations can really get going in earnest. Wonderful scenes here in Cairo. Everyone wants a piece of that trophy. Don't drop it, son. Safe hands. Of course, he's a goalkeeper. Well, they'll be picking that out of the grass for a good few weeks after this. Everyone now have their chance to pose for a photo with the trophy and their gold medal. Hard earned as well. Not everyone in the squad got to play a game in this tournament, but everyone in the squad did get a medal. It's one of the changes that has been made over the years. You think back to the 1960s and 70s. Some of the if you didn't actually play in the final itself, you wouldn't get a medal, even if you played all the previous games. Fortunately, that sort of short-sightedness has now changed in the game of football. It is a squad game, and a medal for one is a medal for all. Well, there'll be plenty of photos to pose for during this evening. I don't know when the flight back to South Africa is, but I'm sure they'll get a rousing reception when they touch back down on the southern tip of the tournament, of the continent even. Well, there was the moment again where the trophy was held aloft for the first time in South African history. Put so much in to a tournament like this. You live in each other's pockets throughout the tournament, of course, the training camp ahead of the tournament as well. You make friends for life. And whenever any of these players come across each other again during their careers, during their lives, they'll be able to look each other in the eyes and know that they were both there. And that is something they can take with them for life. So the 18th edition of the Under-20s Africa Cup of Nations comes to an end here in Egypt. Disappointment, of course, for our hosts, beaten in the third, fourth place playoff earlier today. On penalties as well by Nigeria, coming so close in second half injury time. Hitting both the post and the crossbar, with the goalkeeper beaten. I just wonder, you always wonder just, which of these players are going to be the ones that really blossom into the professional game as well. The likes of Mohamed Salah has starred in tournaments past. Have we just seen a couple of stars of tomorrow